Welcome to another coding tutorial, and in today's video we're going to be making some Christmas lights. It's that time of the year and I cannot resist making some festive sketches. So in today's video we're going to be making some Christmas lights, and it's going to be pretty simple, and we're going to start by creating a few variables. So let's start with columns, rows, and size, and I'm going to set size to be 10. So we're going to be creating a grid of circles. So in setup, let's start by calculating columns, which is going to be width divided by size, and then rows will be height divided by size. And inside draw here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a nested for loop that goes from I equals to 0, I less than columns, I plus plus, and then j equals to 0, j less than rows, and then j plus plus. All right, so let's start simple by creating a bunch of ellipses. And an ellipse function takes in a total of 4 arguments. The first 2 are the x and y coordinates of the center of the circle. So I'm going to actually put in x and y here, and then we're going to define x to be I times size, and then y to be j times size, because we want to evenly space out each of the circles in this grid. And then the third and the fourth argument is going to be the width and the height. And because the width and the height are going to be the same, we can actually just provide the third argument. So how about we put in size? Let's click run. All right, so as you can see here, it's not centered. I'm actually going to change the size to 20 so you can see it better. So as you can see here, it's offset to the left a little bit too much and up a little bit too much, actually by size divided by 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that offset here in the x and y location. Oops. Now what I want to do is that I want to create a new variable called dist from center, or distance from center, which calculates the distance between the x and y coordinate of each of the ellipses to the center of the canvas. And then we're going to use that variable to determine the size of each of the ellipse. So let's define that variable. How about we call it dist from center? And to calculate the distance between 2 points, we can actually use a built-in function called dist. And we need to provide 4 arguments, which are the x and y coordinates of the 2 points, which are going to be the x and y coordinate here, which is the x and y coordinate of the center of each of the ellipses, and then the center of the canvas. So it's going to be width divided by 2 and height divided by 2. So I'm actually going to resize this to be 50. And I'm going to put in no loop here. And no loop basically allows us to run the draw function only once. And I want to do this because I want to print out the distance from center so you can see. So how about we print dist from center, and then how about let's just start with that. All right, so it is between around 250 down to around 35, right? Then up to 247 here. So we also want to, how about we call it ellipse size, and we're going to map dist from center between 0 and width divided by 2, which is a little bit less than 247 here, but I think it's okay. And map it between, how about size divided by 5 and size. And instead of size here, we're going to put in ellipse size. And as you can see here, the closer the ellipse to the center, the smaller it is, right? Which makes sense. And now if we play around with this variable a little bit more, we can actually also, what if we divide this value by 2? So the size is smaller, right? So now I'm just showing you different ways that we can play around with this variable. And what I actually want to do is that I actually want to first change from 50 here for the size to, let's go to 10. All right, no, let's go to 20. And then I'm going to set it back to this from center. And I'm going to actually define another variable. Let's call it DFC for this distance from center, and then mod. And it is going to be dist from center mod 2. And this expression here is actually called modulo. And it basically returns the remainder between a division of two numbers. So let's say that you divide 5. Actually, let's go to a new sketch. So let's do, how about 5 mod 3, and print, and we get a value of 2. And that is because 3 can go into 5 one time and has a remainder of 2, right? But if we do any number, 100, and we do mod 2, it is either going to be 0 or 1, depending on whether that number is an even number or an odd number. Because if a number is an even number, you can divide it by 2 evenly with no remainders. But if it is an odd number, then it has a remainder of 1. So we're going to play with the design using this modulo expression, and I will show you just that. All right, so now what if we also print out, I want to print out ij dist from center and then DFC mod. All right, so, let's delete the second one. Okay, so we have the I and j values, right? Which goes from 0, 0 all the way down to 19 by 19, right? And then the third one here is the distance from center, which if it's further out with the corner ellipses here having the largest distance, right? What I want to do is that I actually want it to be an integer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a function called floor. And then now DFC returns a value that is either 0 or 1. And with these 0, 1 values, we can play with the design by using some conditionals. If DFC is equals to 0, then let's fill the color black. And then else, if DFC is equals to 1, let's fill it with white. And then else, which, it should only be returning 0 or 1. But just in case, we do, how about no fill, actually. Let's try it. Oh, DFC mod. All right, so we can play around with these patterns, right? And what if I do distance from center divided by 2? It gives a different design by 3. And as I showed you that something mod 2 returns a value between 0 and 1, but what if I do mod 3? It actually returns a value between 0, 1, and 2. And because we have these conditional statements that are only between 0, 1, and else, there are some here that are no fill, right? We could do fill color red so you can see the difference. And the cool thing about this is that we can actually play around with the division here and the value here to get a different pattern. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. And also, I don't want to only draw ellipses here. I want to draw ellipses and also a plus sign. So how about instead of putting these fill functions inside the conditional statements, I'm going to put in an ellipse if dfc mod returns 0, and instead of ellipse size here, we're gonna do size. How about size divided by 2? I'm going to delete this. And then I'm going to delete else here as well. So I want to only have 2 conditional statements. So if dfc mod equals to 0, let's draw an ellipse. But if dfc mod equals to 1, I'm going to draw a plus sign. And I'm going to use a function line that takes in a total of 4 arguments, which are the x and y coordinates of the 2 points that you want to connect to make a line. And we're going to start with, how about the horizontal line first? So it's going to be x minus size divided by 4, y, then x plus size divided by 4, comma, y. Let's see. All right, and then let's do the vertical line now, which is going to be x, comma, y minus size divided by 4, and then x, comma, y plus size divided by 4. Ta-da! All right, and because I do mod 3, right, it returns values between 0, 1, and 2. So if I do mod 2 here, you can see that it fills the entire grid, and you can play around with this value too. 4, 5, it gives a different design. And let's change the size to 10. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, right? So how about we play with the colors? I actually want to change the color mode to HSB, which stands for hue, saturation, and brightness. And basically, we can make some cool rainbow colors from here. So the first argument is the hue, and it's go through this color wheel, as you can see. And the value is between 0 and 360. So what we're going to do is that we're going to actually inside this nested for loop, define value of hue to be equals to, we're going to actually map it. Map what? We're going to map the distance from center, which goes from 0, and how about we do width divided by 2, and I'm going to map it between the hue color of 0 to 360, and we're going to fill it with hue. And then for saturation and brightness, the range is between 0 and 100, so I'm actually going to put it at its max of 100. And then before I click run, I'm actually going to set the background to black. Let's click run. All right, so it gives us this nice rainbow colors, but now we cannot see the plus signs. So how about we add the stroke in here? And I want the stroke to be the color white, and the color white in this HSB mode is going to be 0, 0, and the brightness of 100. All right, and I actually want no stroke for the ellipses. All right, a few more things and we're gonna get some cool lights. The first thing is that right now it's really difficult to see the pattern, so I actually want the plus signs here to have a lower brightness, but I don't want them to be all the same. I actually want to map the brightness of the distance from center between 0 and width divided by 2, and I'm gonna map between 100 to, how about 50. I want the plus signs that are closer to the middle to have full brightness, but as it goes through to the borders here, it's gonna have lower brightness of 50. So we're gonna put brightness here. That looks nice, right? Okay. The last thing is, how about we make it animated? We're going to define a new variable called t. Let's start it at 0, t for time, and then speed. Let's start at 0.05. Let's make it move a little bit slowly. And then down here, we don't want no loop anymore, right? We actually want to increment the time by speed. And where are we gonna put this time variable? We're gonna put it actually in here. And we're gonna actually just add time here. And we want to add it in here because we want to make sure that the value that is returned is an integer before we do the modulo expression here. Let's try it. Nice. Still kind of hard to see. Let me try and give it a smaller size. Let's see what it looks like. Nice. I guess we could make the... Oh, what we can do actually is give it the same brightness, but how about we put the stroke weight, set the stroke weight size to be smaller at 0.3. The default size is 1. Nice. I want the color of the ellipses to pop out, and it does. All right, and I'm going to play around with these variables here just to show you the different patterns that we can make. Look at this one. What if we do 4 here? All right, so that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed this one. It is very simple with lots and lots of different kinds of experiments that you can do to create very festive Christmas lights. So give this one a try.